So lately I've been taking some longer rides on the WR, and the next thing I really want to address is the seat. As many of you know, for more than an hour or so, riding on that seat is like riding on a piece of lumber. So I found, I did some research and I found a great seat, apparently, that I'm about to review from Seat Concepts. And looky here, came today. So I think I'll just do a quick review, let you guys see what it's all about. Compare it to the stock seat, and give you my general thoughts. Looky there, some stickers. All right, side-by-side comparison. Pardon the makeshift workbench. I just wanted a level workspace here so you can see the difference between the two seats. Hopefully you can tell by looking which one is stock and which one is aftermarket. First thing that I want to point out is that I ordered the 1-inch high seat. I'm 6'4", which is one of the reasons I bought the WR. It's probably the tallest of the Japanese 250s and even the 400s. So for tall riders, tall bike works really well. The other obvious reason I bought the WR is because everybody knows that blue is fastest. Anyway, on the seat height, the Seat Concept seat is advertised to be 1 inch higher. Let me switch over here because of the sun. 1 inch higher than stock if you buy the tall one, which I did. And as you can see, it is about 1 inch taller. So as advertised, a little bit taller than stock. Let's talk about the width of the seat. Obviously, one reason for an aftermarket seat would be to get a little bit more padding under the glutes. So stock seat, I measured at 7 1/4 inches wide at its widest point. The Seat Concept seat is 9 3/4 wide at its widest point. If you have a look there, let me get straight over top. So significantly wider, and you can just tell visually by looking at it. So far impressed with that. Texture of the material, I ordered the gripper, black and blue, very grippy. In the top, a lot of texture, very grippy compared to the stock seat, which is a little bit smoother. So I'm not sure if that'll be a positive or a negative. If you want to shift around a little bit, how sticky it'll be, but I really do like it. It feels sturdy, material feels good. Stock seat material I never had any complaints about, but very grippy here. All right, regarding the firmness of the foam, it's very comparable to stock. For those of you thinking you want a softer seat and that will be more comfortable, that's actually not true for most people. A firm seat is actually going to be more comfortable in the long hauls. As long as you have adequate surface area to support you, firm is going to be a little bit better than soft. So as I push down on these seats, the density of this foam is pretty similar to stock. So far so good. Fit and finish is fantastic so far. I've checked all the staples. They're all really well done. The fabric is stretched properly. You can see the stock seat pan here, and I kind of assumed that Seat Concepts would source stock WR seat pans and then build the seat from there, but oddly enough, they actually manufacture or have their own seat pans manufactured. So that's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a stock Yamaha WR seat pan here, but there you have it. Good fit and finish. Material feels adequately durable, and just generally pleased with the quality so far. One thing I did notice is that the stock seat is pretty light, not much to it. The Seat Concept seat is significantly heavier just by my feel, and I would expect that to be the case. More material, more foam, it's going to be heavier, but it feels a lot heavier. So let's see if I can find a scale or something in the garage and get an accurate assessment of the weight. All right, after digging through the garage, I found a electronic fish scale that I've actually never used before, so make a good tool to judge the difference in weight between the two seats. So first is the stock seat, as you can see here, and this may be really hard to read on camera, but I've got a weight of 3 pounds 3 ounces. So let's weigh up the Seat Concept seat and see what the difference is. Okay, new seat on the scale. You can see that's the Seat Concept seat, and hopefully you can read that. 4 pounds and 12 ounces. I re-zeroed the scale to make sure everything's accurate. So pound and 8 ounces? I don't know, you do the math. A pound and 8 ounces difference. So although the Seat Concept seat felt significantly heavier, You're really dealing with about 1.5 pounds. Every bit counts, but you would expect there to be some additional weight here because it's a bigger seat with more foam and more material. How does the Seat Concept seat fit on the WR? I'm glad you asked. It fits perfectly. Like I said, the seat pan is very, very similar, if not exactly the same as the Yamaha seat pan. So it has the little groove up front that attaches the gas tank, and once that's slid up forward, the two mounting bolts in the back align perfectly. Fitment is absolutely perfect. Wow, I can totally see the height difference here. It looks so much taller on the bike just by looking at it than the old seat used to. So that's expected. I ordered the tall seat. It looks like a tall seat. It actually looks more level towards the middle where it doesn't sort of slope down right before the tank. Not sure how I like that in the off-road sections, but for road driving, that should be great. Seat fitment is spot on. All right, I think it's time for me to take a little ride. I'm just going to go for probably a 30-minute cruise just to get an initial impression of the comfort. So let me do that. 30-minute cruise, and thanks to the magic of technology, that would only be about a second for you. I'll be right back. Okay, so first impressions. Well, my 30-minute ride turned into about 15 minutes because there's some storms rolling in, and I'm losing a little bit of daylight, but 15 minutes was about all I needed to get a good first impression. First thing I would note is that the ride position with 1 inch taller height over stock was significantly different feeling. It took me at least 5 minutes just to get used to the new riding position. Not to say I didn't like it. I felt it was very comfortable, especially for a taller rider. I would say if you are 6'2" and up, then the 1 inch tall version of the seat would work well for you. Anybody less than that, and I don't know if I mentioned, but Seat Concepts makes a standard size for this seat as well. I would definitely, if you're not at least 6'2", 6'3", go for the standard size. I think if I go out for a dirt or an adventure ride, I'll swap out for the stock seat just because the slope near the tank is a little bit more conducive to that type of riding. But for street use, which is what I've been sort of doing a lot more of lately, this is amazing. The width of the seat just gives you a great coverage on your butt. Feels really good. The density of the foam and the firmness is perfect. The slope, having less of a slope down forward towards the tank took a little bit of getting used to. I think, with the stock seat has a little bit more downslope, especially near the tank. That'll take a little time to get used to, so time will tell if I enjoy that, but just the width of the seat in and of itself would make it, a worthwhile upgrade. I guess the only other thing I'll say is that if I were to custom shape some foam and make my own custom seat, which I've actually done before on a Kawasaki Versys, it would turn out to be something very, very similar to this right here. I like just about everything about it. The height of it works well for me, being tall. The width of it obviously is the reason you probably buy a seat like this. The density of the foam, the firmness is amazing. The grippiness of the seat pad is really good. So let me give it my final verdict here. I give it a thumbs up. I will actually link Seat Concepts in the description here, so check that out with this exact seat. Actually, it's configurable. I think you can choose the material, the height, the colors, and things like that. I highly recommend this. It's a great upgrade, especially if you're doing some long road rides. If you're mainly focused on off-road dirt, stock seat is probably adequate for that since you're not really sitting on the seat quite as often. If you're doing long hauls on the tarmac, this is an amazing upgrade, and time will tell when I take some longer rides on it how much I like it, but at this point I'm very impressed. I forgot to mention the price. The price of these seats are actually pretty reasonable considering what you get. It's a brand new seat pan. It's the whole assembly, so keep your stock seat for when you want to use it for whatever purpose you have for that, and then put this on when you need it. The price was $270 for the full kit with the pan. You can also buy it cheaper if you just get the foam and the seat cover and use your own pan. The disadvantage there is that you can't swap out. But if you got a standard sized seat height, you might not need to swap out. All right, it's time to wrap up this review of the Seat Concepts gripper seat, 1 inch tall for the Yamaha WR250R. Love it. Please leave your questions, comments, feedback in the comment section. Be happy to to answer those. And if you have any other questions about this bike, some of the things I've done to it to sort of make it my own, I'm happy to answer those as well. You know, subscribe. I just ordered a 47 tooth rear sprocket, new rear tire, new chain. They should be here in a few days. May do an installation video there, but there are millions of those online, so probably won't bore you. But once I get those installed, maybe I'll post some content there. But I've done some things to the bike. Oh, the most recent thing I did was these Fastway Evo foot pegs, which are much wider and a little bit lower than the stock foot pegs. So for tall guys, check those out. You can actually position them to a high height, which would be, there's a little sleeve here. You can slide the peg up this way, and then you can slide the peg down that way with the sleeve in a different position. So that makes the peg go down and back just a bit. So it works great for me. Super wide foot peg. So sorry to hijack my seat review, but that's just something I did recently. And the other thing I did was a manual cam chain tensioner. Most people say that the stock cam chain tensioners on the WR don't fail, and that's fine. But I had a MCCT on my DRZ 400 a few years back. Super simple to install, and it just gives you a little bit of peace of mind. So if you have any questions about the cam chain tensioner, let me know. So that's it for now. If you found this video useful and or informative, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.